la Coña and Independencia, you can find El Templo de la Cruz, founded in 1654. It was the first missionaries college in the Americas. Inside the temple, you can find a tree whose thorns are shaped like a cross. Outside the temple, there are stalls selling these famous crosses. If you are looking, someone might even give you one as a gift, as happened to me. Behind the tree, it's about a friar who planted his walking stick in the ground, and over the time, it's miraculously transformed into the famous tree. If you look at the front of the temple, you will see statues, and one of them represents the friar who planted the famous stick. It happened on September 12th. It is the celebration of the Santa Cruz miracle. According to the story, Spanish forces and the Ottoman people were in the battle, and suddenly the sky turned dark and bring a cross appear in the sky. And this is why on that day the people take place outside the temple to see this celebration. The people perform their dancers during of the day. And you can see this temple has many beautiful and extraordinary traditions. Don't forget to come back and visit us again.
Standing on the corner of Corregidora Street and the Cinco de Mayo walkway. In front of you, the oldest and most important buildings in Querétaro. This is the Temple and Convent of San Francisco, the very first building in this city. Construction begins around the 50s, and the Franciscan monks are already living and working on this one. The church that see today was finally completed in 1727. Such means it took almost around nearly 200 years to complete. For centuries, this was the most important church in the city. One in the city had a connection for nearly 50 years. From 1865 to 1911, it even is served as the city's cathedral. This building has also alive some of Mexico's most important events. In the 1860s, the War of Reform, the country apart a conflict between Jews who wanted to keep its powers and land, and to fighting to modernize Mexico and separate church from the state. This convent had paid a heavy price. Chapels and walls were torn down, and religious statues were wandered and burned into the public bonfire right there in the courtyard. Just a few years later, another crisis arrived when French invaded Mexico, and Maximiliano Habsburger has appeared in November of 1863. Imperial troops took the control of Querétaro, and the Franciscan monks briefly returned to their diminished convent. In 1867, a Republican force surrounded the city taken over by the Imperial Army and turned it into a fortress, military hospital, and a weapons depot. By the time the stage ended with Maximilian's defeat, this building was in a terrible shape. After all that turbulence, the convent found a new life. By 1966, it had been transformed into a relational museum of Querétaro, which it was used today. The wetlands and surrounding areas were rebuilding, and over time into the public plazas and spaces that locals and visitors enjoy right there around you. This building has been a church and a cathedral and a butterfly and a museum. It was survived wars, political upheavals, Francisco is not just a pretty build, it is a story written in stones telling us who the people of Querétaro has been for almost 500 years.
The Temple of Santa Clara was founded in 1606 by Diego de Tapia. In the center's Querétaro, originally uncovered for declarations. It was one of the most important places in the New Spain, was even prisoned for Josefa Ortiz Dominguez during the Independence War. Today only the show remains, but it stands as a very important part of our history. Inside the temple is very precious with many golden decorations and beautiful religious art. Outside, the area looks very traditional and calm, surrounded by places important like Jardín Guerrero and the Plus Constitutions. It's a great place to visit because it's beautiful and easy to locate by only about 25 minutes from the university walking. Now, we're going to see inside of this in the shop.
This is the Church of Santa Rosa de Viterbo. It's located in the center historic of Querétaro, in the corner of Arteaga and Ezequiel Montes streets. This beautiful building was designed by the architect Francisco Martínez Burún. It is very famous for the arches outside. They are called borales, and they are support the walls and be very strong to the building. The decorations inside is incredible. They are gold everywhere, and the wall is real. Now let's look at the tower. It's a very old club. In fact, it was the first public club in the city. Finally, we are going to see inside the church.